Bip, 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 bip. Do 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 do. Folks, it's happening. LA is burning up. And you got the front row seat to the action. We're trying to get work on getting a crawl going on here. Okay, what we're looking at here, we are facing west. This is, let me go back to a different map here. We are, so I'm not from California, so I don't know anything about this area, but we are over by Pasadena or Altadena. The Eaton Fire is what we're looking at right here. And we're facing west, facing out towards the ocean, and the wind is blowing that way. So we're basically looking towards downtown Los Angeles right now. And that's the direction the fire is going. So the way we're looking is the direction we're looking is the direction the fire is going. So shit is probably about to get bad. And then this is the smaller of the fire. Apparently there's another fire a little down south from here too. But this is a small fire just getting going. So it's only been going a few hours maybe. The big one is over in Pacific Palisades. That's already encroaching towards Santa Monica. Now, whether or not these are gonna, because it's very strong winds again, blowing out to the ocean. So I don't know how or what the odds are that this could backburn. This big ass fire, which is not the one we're looking at. There's a Palisades fire over by the ocean, far, far west side, northwest side of Los Angeles. The fire we're looking at here is on the east side, northeast side of Los Angeles. This is the Eaton Fire. Over by the Mount Wilson Observatory, apparently, just down the mountain. Perhaps this camera is from the Mount Wilson Observatory. I'm not sure. But as I know, we are looking at the Eaton Fire, and LA is fucked. These winds are going to be all night. And it's not even, 15-ish minutes. 10 o'clock, they say. It's not a precise time, but 10 o'clock is when the wind is supposed to really get going and be sustained all night long, all the way through tomorrow. I see a little flare up there on the fire. And heaven help them. They're gonna need it, because this is not looking good, folks. There's no way in hell. These winds are just way too strong. There is zero chance the fire department is going to be able to do a goddamn thing about this. It's just going to burn. And again, the way we are looking is the direction the wind is blowing, and that is Los Angeles, downtown Los Angeles, out there in the distance in the thick smoke. So this is going to be, as the night goes on, man, this fire is literally just going to blow west into all of Los Angeles. I don't see how you can get all the airplanes and all the helicopters and all the fire trucks in the country. That ain't going to fucking stop this fire, man. This bad boy is burning. And apparently there's another little fire south of this one that we're looking at right here. So, down off to the left. So I'm assuming embers are in the air. Fuck, man, the odds are this thing could just put embers everywhere. Like, this might be it. This could burn a lot of Los Angeles. This is kind of a very fucked situation. But we'll have to see. Who knows how it's gonna go? Only time will tell. And I wish I could rewind this camera, this feed that I got going on right here, so we could see how much the fire is progressing. But I guess, oh yeah, I was gonna get a crawl going. Let me get on that. Just hearing word that there's south of this, it's what's called the Burt Fire. Burt Fire. And that is now getting out of control. So we have 3 concurrent wildfires burning LA. This one, northeast side near Pasadena. There's another one on the northwest side near the Pacific Palisades. And now there is a third one south of here, so to the left of what this view is, called the Burt Fire, that is getting out of control. And this one appears to be continuing to slide down the mountain. If you rewind this, I guess I can't rewind it. I've been watching it for a while before I started streaming. It looks like the fire, started on the hillside here, and now it is going down the face of it, and it's in the residential neighborhood at the base of this mountain here. So, see on the right side there, that looks like that, might be getting down onto the street level. So this is not good. This is this is about the worst case scenario, because again, these winds are not doing anyone any favors. It is going to be very windy all night long, all day tomorrow. So, best of luck, people. I would get the fuck out of Los Angeles. That's for damn sure. Very strong winds blowing out to the ocean, which is the direction we're looking. I don't see what is going to stop this fire from sweeping right across Los Angeles. Honestly, when you got 40-mile-an-hour sustained winds in some spots, 70, 80-mile-an-hour wind gusts, these embers are getting blown all over the place. There's not enough airplanes and helicopters and fire trucks on Earth to stop this. And it looks like even to the left, on the far left side of the screen, you can see it's just glowing there. So that this fire is spreading out left to right and is going down the hill. And it's nothing but solid packed residential homes at the bottom of this hill all the way to the ocean. You tell me, what is going to stop this fire? It's unbelievable. Best of luck, California. I don't know.
Of this evening of this wind event. How does it feel, and how's your family doing right now?
Elaine, hey David, I'm in Hastings Ranch on Mitchell-Linda, the top of Mitchell-Linda, which is also the border of Sierra Madre, and I came out here to kind of check on what was happening. I live in Monrovia, and I was concerned the fire's coming my way, and unfortunately I'm near a lot of friends' homes, and a lot of their homes are in danger right now at this moment.
How's the smoke, Armando? Obviously, we're seeing, this is video, we're showing video that you have shot, and you can see that it looks pretty smoky out there already, and this is in direct, right next to you.
It is. When I first arrived, there was a line of cars exiting the neighborhood. I've seen so many cops evacuating everyone, but unfortunately I've seen very few firefighters. They definitely do not have a handle on this. I'm really worried about, my community, Monrovia, Arcadia, Sierra Madre, Hastings Ranch. But, this kind of reminds me of the Bobcat fire from 2020.
Well, how difficult is it getting out of the community? Because the video that you're showing us, you show all the cars that are lined up. Obviously, these are people trying to evacuate and get out. Is that still flowing smoothly, or are there problems?
No, they're out now. I'm actually going to get out of the car for a minute so you have a better vantage point. But fortunately, everyone is out, and I will be leaving shortly. But yeah, it's just a lot of people have relocated to friends' houses, hotels, you name it. But I know a lot of people in Monrovia are already packing up.
Right.
Yeah, that's the beauty of living in those foothill communities. It's just so beautiful. But boy, when you start seeing these evacuation orders and warnings, and you're seeing the Eaton fire. Armando, really quickly, David touched on it a moment ago with Lisa, but this, all eyes were on the Palisades fire. So when this sparked at some point in the 6 o'clock hour, we'd say, it really took off quickly. How surprised were you? Because you've lived here for many, many years.
It did not surprise me when I heard a fire in Eaton Canyon. I just knew that within, a matter of a couple of hours, it could be knocking on the doorstep. And that's pretty much exactly what's happening. I mean, there's tens of thousands of people impacted. I mean, this could be, another disaster in the making for the San Gabriel Valley, similar to the station fire and, of course, the Bobcat fire in 2020.
Armando Barragan, be careful out there. We hope to see you tomorrow at work, but if not, we fully understand. But, take care of your family and let us know how you're doing, and, we hope for the best.
All right. Thanks, David.
All right. And let's go to Sophie Flay. She is also near the Eaton Canyon fire in Altadena. And, Sophie, how are things? Well, clearly, it's devastating where you are, too.
David, I'm standing at the Pasadena Jewish Temple and Center, and this is my first time here, so I want to be careful in how I report this. It almost looks as if there are two buildings, one building, the temple, and another building attached to it. And in a matter of minutes, we have watched the roof of this building completely burn and collapse. In a matter of minutes, we talked about that earlier. We were worried that the flames were going to get close to this building, to this area, and that's exactly what happened. The wind is moving so fast that part of this Pasadena Jewish Center and Temple has gone up in flames, completely collapsed, completely engulfed in flames. And if you take a look on the left-hand side, you can see a home right next door to it. Here, we're on Altadena. A home right next door to it has also been engulfed in flames. We actually tried to show you that home earlier, but we had to move because the embers were flying so fast towards us. But as you can see, that home completely gone. And actually next to this area, when we were talking to you earlier, we mentioned that there was a nursing home and an assisted living home that did have to be evacuated. That was at the intersection of Altadena and Washington. And I want to show you some of that video that we have of people being evacuated. That was the Park Terraces and the Pasadena Wellness Center, those areas. There were 96 people that had to be evacuated. People in gurneys, people in wheelchairs, people in rolling beds being rushed out of that assisted living home, out of that nursing home. 96 of them transported and evacuated to Los Feliz. We talked to a woman who rushed over here from Arcadia to help her mom. She had had power going in and out all day, so it was really hard for her to understand the situation and what was going on. But if you take another live look back out here, you can see the flames have just gotten bigger and bigger. That black smoke those bold, bright orange flames just ripping through right in front of us here at the Pasadena Jewish Temple and Center. I don't know if you can hear that, but a lot of popping, a lot of loud noises, a lot of crackling out here. It really is just devastating to watch. So far, the building kind of, again, I do believe that this building is connected. These two structures are connected to each other. Again, it's my first time here, so I want to be careful in reporting that. It does look as though the building to the right-hand side has not been touched by flames, but again, the roof of this building, the Pasadena Jewish Temple and Center, has completely collapsed. And we did hear that firefighters are on the other side of these flames trying to fight it. Again, we didn't go over there because it does feel like a little bit of a dangerous situation, and we want to let them do their job, their very important job tonight. But again, the wind is just moving so fast, forcing these flames, again, in a matter of minutes. This has just completely collapsed.
Sophie, as we were watching your live report, do you have any idea how close you are to Leanne Suter? Because we know you both are covering the Eaton fire. Yeah. And you both are, your backdrops are devastating and destructive, and you just see it. The fire is just ravaging so many of these structures behind you, but I can't ascertain exactly how close you are to Leanne.
Actually, when we got to Altadena earlier today, we ran into Leanne. We saw their news truck. We pulled over. We saw her in front of those burning homes. I would say she's about 3 blocks away from us. So we're in Altadena. She's on New York, and we're at Altadena in Washington. So Altadena, we're in Altadena, and it's sandwiched between New York and Washington. So we're really not far from Leanne. So that gives you a good idea of just how destructive it has been in this neighborhood.
That certainly helps clarify exactly how close you are, because I know, this whole community, they're on pins and needles watching these fires taking over these areas.
Right. Sophie, thank you for that. I know you have to move and try to stay as safe as possible. We'll check back with you when you get to a safer location. In the meantime, let's see if we can do this live. But Philip, our producer, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Another development. This is a breaking development, and one that we wish we didn't have to report. But this is towards Sun Valley, shot from the Burbank Airport area, and you can see another fire has broken out. This is up in Sun Valley, beyond Burbank, beyond the Burbank Airport. We don't know what is burning at this point. This is a distant shot. We don't have a lot of information on it, but clearly another fire has broken out in another area of Southern California. This is not connected to the Altadena fire or the Palisades fire. This is entirely different.
And we do ask a lot of our eyewitness viewers, if you do know where this is, or if you can safely get any video or images of this, we certainly would like it. You could post it on ABC7 Eyewitness, or you can send it to our breaking news on our website, abc7.com, to send in a tip. But again, we're watching this breaking development happening right now in Sun Valley.
Now, another imagery that we want to show you of, let me see, that's not quite what we're talking about, but this is showing you some proximity. Oh, yeah, I see. Philip, thank you very much. Philip, our weather producer, is helping out Dallas. So look there, Dove Creek, you see that? That is the home that Leanne was reporting from, and Lisa, the woman we had on the phone, that's where she lived, on Dove Creek Lane. All of those homes is what she was talking about. You see that curve in the cul-de-sac? That what she was, I'm sorry, Creekside and Dove Creek. Yeah, okay. I see what you're saying. Creekside is where she lived. Creekside Court, right?
Right.
And then Leanne was also on Dove Creek Lane. That small kind of pocket of homes is what we saw devastated in the last few minutes when we were talking to Lisa, thank you, Philip, when we were talking to Lisa and we were talking to Leanne. It's those homes, many of them are townhomes, so each building that you see is actually multiple homes.
Yeah.
And most of those are now gone.
It was very sad to see the destruction, and then to hear Leanne tell Lisa that unfortunately so many of those homes, except for those 2 that are right at the very end, the left-hand side, I believe, where Dove Creek Lane and Creekside Court merge. And David, actually, we're also talking about getting an idea exactly about these fires. So you're at our touch screen, and I know that our lighting is a little bit off right now.
Sorry about that.
We have a power outage.
We haven't had an opportunity to actually talk about this, but we got we don't have power right now here in Glendale. The high winds have knocked out power. We're on reserve power, so are basically a generator, and so we don't have our regular lights. Pay no attention to me. This is what I want you to pay attention to. And this screen, I would just want to give you physically, kind of show you what we're dealing with when it comes to Southern California, particularly Los Angeles, and the fires that we're dealing with right now. So this is, hang in there. Let me see. I don't know. It just jumped. Oh, okay. We're going to reset this. Colleen, I'm going to throw it over to you.
Perfect.
And I'm going to try to figure out what just happened there.
Yeah.
Try not to laugh. Try not to laugh.
That touchscreen, though, is very touchy, and I've been lucky enough to be on it quite a few times. But you're going to get back to it, David, and we will see you.
I have no idea what just happened, because that's never happened to me before. So, but we do want to show you the proximity of where all these fires are burning here in Southern California, how far away they are, but also where the fires are headed and the communities that they're hitting. Philip, you got something for me?
Yeah.
Okay, pop it up, Philip. Let's see if you can help us out.
There you go,
okay.
David.
So, all right, this is great map. Okay, so the fire by the 210 sign there, that is the Altadena fire in Eaton Canyon. That one broke out this evening about 6:30 this evening, and that is the one that spread so quickly, and we see such devastation where Sophie and Leanne are. The Palisades fire over here to the left that Philip just circled, that has been going on since 10 o'clock this morning and has been burning steadily. Now, what's important is, Philip, can you zoom in on the Palisades fire? Oh, and this is the new fire that we just showed you with the breaking developments beyond the Burbank Airport in Sun Valley. So now we are dealing with 3 different fire areas here in Los Angeles particularly. So as you can see where the fire is, it started up at the hills in the Palisades, but it has burned down, and we saw it going towards Malibu earlier in the day, but now it's burning south towards Santa Monica, and they're starting to create evacuation orders for basically the meat of Santa Monica, where all those homes are. We're redirecting many of our reporters into that area to see how that evacuation is going. Philip is basically circling this huge area that is now affected by the fire, from Bel Air to Brentwood to Pacific Palisades to Santa Monica over to Malibu. That is an enormous area that is growing particularly quickly and has been growing since 10 o'clock this morning. Philip, can you bring us back to the mountains over there near Altadena? So that area, it started near Eaton Canyon in Altadena, but it burned south there. Now it's burning towards Pasadena, down south of there, and Sierra Madre, kind of towards where Armando was just talking to us about. So you could see how it starts with one small community, but these communities are growing and growing, and the evacuations are growing. And that's why part of the challenge is, where do you find an evacuation center when the centers that they're looking at could potentially be overrun by this fire, because it's moving so quickly and these winds are absolutely blasting. And keep in mind, 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. is where Dallas was saying could be the trickiest time when it comes to these fires. I have a number of people here in the studio trying to help us out with all these maps going on. But Philip, great job. I'm sorry I really messed up this other monitor, but we'll get that fixed and going in just a second. Dan is here saving the day and trying to fix that monitor that I messed up. It was a creative effort.
It certainly was.
It failed.
That touchscreen is really helpful, and it does give you a good idea of the vicinity of where everything is located. So again,
Dan's over there fixing it right now, so we'll have it for you soon.
And he's hoping that we don't pull him up. But let's go. We're going to go to Jory Rand. Jory, we know you moved locations now. Where are you?
So actually, we looked to move locations. We're still at Amalfi Drive at Sunset Boulevard. We went all around to see what was going on, because we thought that flames were imminently about to arrive at the homes north of Sunset Boulevard here on Amalfi Drive. We drove up there. The flames are still a ways away. Here, I'll step out of the way, and you can see this is what we saw when we got here about 5 hours ago. Flames crested that hill and have slowly been making their way down. There is a valley down below between where we are right now and where you see those flames off in the distance. They have yet to make their way across that valley. We've just been able to see some homes that are burning up on that hillside and some empty brush inside Will Rogers State Park that has not burned yet. And that's what we're seeing burn right now. And police and firefighters thought it would have made it here given the pace of its progress up until a couple hours ago. It seems to have stalled until, of course, just within the last 5 minutes, these flames have picked back up again. And we'll see what that means in terms of the progress. But we also, once things died down a little bit, began to drive west on Sunset Boulevard, and we have some video of that. And flames reached right up along the roadway of Sunset Boulevard. That was one of the hazards while driving. Another is these winds have brought down so many tree branches that navigating Sunset Boulevard was nearly impossible. There were portions where there was really only one or less than one lane open to go through. We have seen LAPD cruisers maybe switching shifts make their way through at relatively high speeds, and there are a lot of dangers on the roadways. That's one of the reasons why they shut this down, because there is just so much danger on the road, plus fire, tree trunks on fire right up against Sunset Boulevard, and we have seen some homes off in the distance here on Sunset go up as well. There is also the danger of tree trunks, tree limbs coming down. In fact, we learned a 25-year-old firefighter with LAFD suffered a serious head injury and had to be taken to the hospital. And I believe at some point we're going to get to video of that. We do know that 25-year-old was taken to the hospital against serious injuries. We also learned that several people were seen walking towards a restaurant suffering burn injuries. We've learned that they have been taken to a hospital as well. Back here at Amalfi and Sunset, south of Sunset, looks really good. We took a drive down there as well, and really no danger at this hour for homes down there. And in fact, that was particularly of interest because we learned that parts of Santa Monica are under evacuation warnings, and that is basically in that direction. Riviera Country Club is just a couple blocks away from here. On the far side of that is San Vicente in Santa Monica, and that's about the point where those first evacuation orders went into place. In fact, they were warnings at the time, and then beyond that, between San Vicente and Montana were put under evacuation warnings in the city of Santa Monica. So that was when flames appeared to be making a really rapid march to the east towards our location. It seems to have stalled, although it found some new brush, perhaps some new homes to go up here off Sunset Boulevard and up into Will Rogers State Park. We were told at the top of Will Rogers there are some homes up there. They say those are gone. Those have been lost. And as we hear an engine coming up Sunset right now, it's difficult to tell what is what with the noises out here because the wind is so steady and so strong. There are times it sounds like a jet is taking off, but really it's just the wind whipping through the trees. And we've been paying attention to some of the ornamental shrubs over here. One by one, they are being taken down by this wind, which is just relentless at this point. And it seems to come in all directions. At times it's blowing from the east-west, which is what we'd expect from a Santa Ana wind event. At other times, it is blowing at our backs, blowing east, which is particularly of concern for the fire that is over there and flames making their way towards these neighborhoods. But it seems like it has stalled. It has yet to transverse the valley behind us, which is good news for the cluster of homes here. But as of now, things look okay at this location. The same cannot be said just about a quarter mile to our west. We'll continue to monitor conditions here and see how they go, guys.
Yeah, and Jory, it just doesn't seem like that wind is dying down. In fact, it does seem very, very strong where you are. We're going to keep checking back in with you throughout the evening, of course. We also want to talk about what we're learning about a firefighter who was injured battling the fire. We know that there was a firefighter seriously hurt battling the Palisades fire. The department says she suffered a head injury around 8:30 tonight. It's the 25-year-old firefighter. They received treatment on the scene before she was taken to the hospital. So our thoughts are certainly going out to this LA firefighter who, like so many of our firefighters tonight, they are putting their lives in danger to try to protect you and property. We're also going to go back over to David. David, hopefully that touch screen is going to be a little more mindful.
We're going to give it a shot, one more shot, because it's an important illustration to make, and this is where the Palisades fire started right here, and you can see this is the path of the fire, and then the the pink color that you see here, those are mandatory evacuations. What we have been reporting that throughout the day since 10 o'clock this morning. The important thing that we want to talk about when it comes to the latest evolution of this fire is this is the evacuation warning. This is the area they want to start thinking about evacuating, or they want you to get out if you can right now. And that is getting into the meat of Santa Monica, the heavily populated area of Santa Monica. I don't want to go in too much because this map is touchy, but each one of these is a home or an apartment building. Let me go back out a little bit. Now, if this evacuation continues to move in this direction, then you're looking at the really heavily populated area of Santa Monica. And these are the folks that need to start thinking about preparing to get out. If the winds continue to blast like they have been, and we expect them to go throughout into the morning, but overnight into the morning, all of these folks right here could be in danger of this fire that continues to rapidly move. And we just want to make sure that everybody knows that if you live in this enormous community with thousands of people, you need to be aware of the dangers that you could be in throughout the night tonight. Keep aware of all the warnings that are going on out there. And in fact, right now, we should probably check in with Dallas Raines because he has been monitoring those winds, and tonight is the most dangerous night of all. Dallas.
That's right, David. And we're moving into a situation where after midnight tonight through early tomorrow morning, I am anticipating another very strong surge of Santa Ana winds. Tonight, when you look at the wind profile here, it's impressive. Winds of 36 to 55 mile per hour gusts still being reported, especially in those canyon areas. That's where the strongest winds are blowing tonight. There's Pasadena. We've had wind gusts in some of the remote weather stations that we look at as meteorologists, and some of those have been up to 69, 70 miles per hour. As we go down into the OC, very strong winds are blowing through the canyon passes in Santa Ana and all the way down to the coast. You can see San Clemente still getting some wind gusts tonight. And of course, all of our friends in the IE. Fortunately, we have not seen any fires started down in that area. This fire today was started about 22 minutes after 10 o'clock in a canyon just above the area where the most of the fire has been today. And then here's the Altadena shot. So again, this fire was started just above these communities in Altadena, up there in the foothills just above the city there. You can see that we're zooming in on those areas where some of these homes, unfortunately, are burning tonight. And the winds, of course, are so strong they can blow those embers over some houses into others. So anyone who is north of the 210 freeway tonight, I would advise you to be ready to move out just in case, because I do not anticipate the winds backing down very much. There is a time when that's going to happen, and I believe that will be late morning tomorrow, where we'll see the winds back down a little bit, shift a little bit more to the east. This forecast here shows the winds still quite strong down at PV. I'm not sure I really believe this computer model that much with winds of 36 to 45 miles per hour at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Let's hope that model is wrong. I don't agree with that one. However, with the Altadena one, I do agree with. I think we'll see another burst of powerful Santa Ana winds all the way through just around sunrise. And then at that point, the winds will back down, and that's what we want, so we can fly the helicopters that can get in there and make those drops. Santa Monica today had wind gusts of 55. Now, these are official reports. If you get up in some of those canyons, you can get wind gusts higher than that, easily 75. I did see 87 mile per hour wind gusts today up at Magic Mountain, Burbank, 71. Wow, that's amazing. That center of that low pressure tonight is exactly where I thought it would be. It's spinning around. This is the Sea of Cortez. Here is Los Angeles. We're still under the influence of these powerful northeast winds feeding into the center of this low. But guess what? This low is going to move on out to the east, and when that happens tomorrow afternoon, we'll see the winds really back down. Here's a model forecast showing some of the winds through tonight. We know that already. And then once we get in tomorrow morning, they're still coming through those canyon passes, really, really powerful winds. But as we move into the late morning, watch everything just really change dramatically. We get into 11 o'clock tomorrow night. This time tomorrow night, the red flags will still be flying more than likely, but I think our winds will be way down. Red flags through to Thursday, and then cooling weather is coming Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The next chance of Santa Ana winds will be Tuesday of next week. That's on my 7-day, and I think this one will be of moderate intensity, but we're going to have to watch it really carefully because we could see red flags flying again at the end of the 7-day forecast. All right, look at those cold temperatures in the valleys, too. Coming up over the weekend, we'll be down in the mid to upper 30s in many valley locations. At the beaches tomorrow, fire danger still high above Malibu as powerful winds blow. They'll start backing off in the afternoon. Red flag's going to stay with us until Thursday. 69 degrees down on the coastline on Thursday. Then a big cool down as we head toward the weekend. In the mountain areas, I hope you had a chance to see that snow in Big Bear today. It was beautiful to see. Light snow showers are still possible. Very cold at Big Bear, 39, dropping to 13 Saturday night. Now to the deserts, gusty winds in the forecast, 58, 60, 65 on Friday, and the weekend forecast there. Temperatures fairly mild. We'll be back up there running temperatures in the low 70s or so out in Palm Springs, 74, 69. So again, red flag warnings are still here. I expect more powerful winds overnight tonight.
All right. We sure could use an end to the red flags. Dallas, thank you very much. Thank you for joining us for a special edition of Eyewitness News at 11 o'clock. I'm Mark Brown with Colleen Sullivan. Our ongoing coverage of these two disastrous fires that are burning right now in Los Angeles County. Let's get more now from Eyewitness News reporter Michelle Fisher in Malibu.
Hi, Mark. All right. So right now we are at Pacific Coast Highway in Carbon Canyon outside of LA County Fire Station 70. I'm going to walk you through some process language to explain how we got down here from Pacific Palisades where we were earlier. So as you heard Jory mention, as our viewers heard Jory mentioned, LA Fire Department said that around 9 o'clock there were several burn victims that made their way to a local restaurant. We were getting word that that was possibly Duke's, which is on Pacific Coast Highway. A lot of people familiar with Duke's restaurant. So we made our way down to Duke's. We spoke with Ventura County Fire PIO Andy Van Skyver, who told us that those individuals were moved here to LA Fire Station 70. So we made our way down Pacific Coast Highway, and as we did, I mean, it was just really, really, really devastating to see many, many, many oceanfront properties completely burned out. We've heard the comparisons to Lahaina, and I can confirm that that is exactly what it looked like, just apocalyptic. And we did get some video of that we're hoping to get back to the station. Service a little bit spotty. But anyway, we made our way here to LA Fire Station 70. We were told that those victims were transported. Unfortunately, though, we could not get any confirmation on just how many and also the severity of their injuries. But as this fire goes into the night, people now, it appears, are being injured by falling debris and also by fire and burns, which is not a good case. In either case, we've made our way down to Malibu now, and there are many people now that are outside that don't have power, that are along Pacific Coast Highway, kind of looking in the direction of Pacific Palisades, preparing for what their next moves could be if the fire reaches them. Of course, they dealt with this situation last month. We spoke with one individual who explained to us what his night is looking like tonight.
Sure. So last night I got the wind advisory for like 80 to 100 mile per hour life-threatening alert last night. So whenever I get a wind alert now, I know there's probably going to be a fire. So what's going on right now is I live up by Zuma Beach, and I have no power or internet. So what we do in Malibu is we just kind of, sorry about that. So what happened was I left and went over the hill just to get internet, came back. Before I go to sleep, I drove down here just to see how far the fire came, so I know
All right, folks. We are. Well, how long are we in here? Just over an hour and 15 minutes in here, and this fire is progressing pretty quickly. It was on the top of the hill when I started, and now we can clearly see like it's down, and at the base of this hill, it is solid homes all the way to the Pacific Ocean. So we are looking west, and that's the direction, mainly the direction that, shifts a little bit here and there, but the wind is mainly blowing to the west, out to the ocean. And we're looking towards LA, downtown LA, so your guess is as good as mine, folks. This mofo might go up in flames here. Like, there's at least 4 wildfires in Los Angeles right now. This is the northeast one, Eaton Fire. There's one to the left of this, down south, to the left of this view. I've heard they're calling that the Burt Fire. There's one sort of up North Hollywood area, like way up in that little nook where all those houses are, up in that little nook there. I'm not sure what the name of that one is. And then there's that other one up by the Palisades Fire. And they are all rapidly expanding. This one that we're looking at right here started as 3-acre fire. It's probably over 1,000 by now. Probably 20 minutes ago, it was in the mid-hundreds. And I don't see anything that can stop these. So, who knows? Let me know if you want some type of news. I can get another channel's audio going. So you can have like the news audio playing, or let me know in the comments if you want that, or silence, or... So I'm not just going to sit here and endlessly ramble. Fire up episode of Comedy Bang Bang for you, if you're into that type of stuff. Otherwise, just sit back. Or I could get into my broadcasting voice and we can sit back and enjoy the fire. Break out the wieners and marshmallows, ladies and gentlemen, because Los Angeles is on fire. Sit back and enjoy the show. Sylmar Fire is the name of that other one. That's the most northern fire. We got the Palisades Fire there by Santa Monica, north of Santa Monica and all that good stuff. So who knows if that will back burn towards the east or if it can maybe continue to spread farther south along the coast. And then we are looking at the Eaton Fire, which is the easternmost fire over by Pasadena, Trina. So it's going to be an interesting night. Those two, the north one and the east one, can do a lot of damage tonight with these strong winds. Going to be all night long, and it ain't going to calm down very much all day tomorrow. Or, well, today, I guess, where I am. It's what, 11 o'clock there in California right now. Okay, Sylmar Fire is now the Hearst Fire. I don't know, two fires joined forces or what, but man, this fire here that we're looking at right now, it seems to be intensifying there. It was little pockets of random bright fire, but now this is, again, that is at the base of this hill. It's just solid homes all the way to the Pacific Ocean. And other reports, from the news agencies live on the scene in this area, in the Altameda area, there's a lot of homes on fire already. The fire is definitely at ground level in this area, affecting homes and businesses, everything. Does not matter. And with how strong these winds are, coming off this hill here, we're like 50, 70 mile an hour gusts, probably 30, 40 sustained. It's going to be probably the next 24 hours, the same conditions, low humidity and high winds. Fires are already going and growing. Again, this one started out just, 3 acres when I picked up on it, and well into the hundreds now. It's got to be close to 1,000. Look at that. This is unbelievable. I guess with what we've seen, in years past, how these California wildfires get, can burn up hundreds of thousands of acres. It was only a matter of time until one of them started by a densely populated area. And is tonight the night that Los Angeles totally burns up. Oh, there's another one between the Hearst Fire and the Eaton Fire. We are looking at the Eaton Fire right now. There's a Tamarack Fire between Burbank and San Fernando, I'm sorry. So in between San Fernando and Burbank, there is Tamarack Fire at just a half an acre right now, just starting. Hearst Fire, 100 acres. That's the northernmost. Eaton Fire is over 400 acres right now. And the Palisades Fire is 3,000 acres. So this is a fucked situation, folks. Looks like Burt Fire, 3 acres. So yeah, there is currently at least 5 simultaneous wildfires in the greater Los Angeles area right now. Palisades Fire over by the ocean, Hearst Fire up north, just north of San Fernando. Then in between San Fernando and Burbank, the Tamarack Fire, which is brand new apparently, it's only a half acre, last report. And then over to the east, by Pasadena, we got the Eaton Fire, over 400 acres right now. And then just south of that, west of Arcadia, is the Burt Fire at 3 acres. Buckle up, folks. It's going to be a rough night in Los Angeles. This is unbelievable. I cannot believe what I'm seeing right now.
still dealing with these embers flying all over the place, you guys. Tons of evacuations out here tonight. And that could be scary for them trying to get down these really narrow mountain roads if they have fire like this blowing at them.
And you know what, you said it, Nicole, about the only thing you can say to people who are so devastated by knowing that their home has burned down, even not knowing, is if they are able to look in the face of a loved one and have both of them there together, you know, saying, okay,
we're here.
But we're, yes. Yeah. I mean, I know that is, you know, that could be not enough comfort, obviously, and losing a home and your belongings, but if that has some little bit of solace, then hopefully that's something we can hold on to. Look at that. Is that a tree?
Looks like a tree stump.
Right?
Yeah,
And-
this is just a tree stump in front of someone's house. These are all these little embers that are catching like a lot of, you know, tree stumps and bushes in people's front lawns.
And
So
in people's homes.
This is how it kind of carries down the street in the wind.
And you
yeah,
know
and
what?
the homes too.
Yeah,
The
I've
worst
heard-
part of all.
I've heard firefighters say that those embers, obviously they can get into the eaves, start a fire, say in the attic. So a lot of times, these fires can start actually inside a home.
Sure. And you can see how many
Yeah.
embers are flying around out there, as Nicole was showing us. I mean, even when she was just talking to us, you can see them flying around her head. And for firefighters running around like that, desperate to save some of these homes, I mean, it's got to be very comforting for the residents of this area and this neighborhood to know that firefighters are actually on their street despite what's happening right now.
No question about that. All right, thanks so much, Nicole. We'll get back to you shortly.
Well, as we've been talking about many fires burning here in Southern California tonight, we went to Pacific Palisades, now to Pasadena, and we also want to hit Pacific Palisades once again because of the fact that this morning when that fire started, it was so small, Pat.
10:30. 10 acres.
Yep, 10 acres.
And look where it is now. It's so unreal. And
Thousands.
our Lori Perez is in the thick of it all at the Palisades fire. And we understand, well, we've been reporting, Lori, well, you have, that it has spread into Malibu. I almost want to say back into Malibu because that's where we were a month ago.
That's exactly right. I mean, we visited spots tonight that we had been a month ago covering the fires, and now there are fires. Once again, a stunning amount of damage here in Malibu. I saw it with my own eyes, and still it is hard to believe. Let's get right to some video that I sent in just over an hour ago. It's a really remarkable video showing you as we were driving south on PCH from about Las Flores Canyon. That's up near where Duke's restaurant is. And it was just house after house of those beachside homes burning, building after burning, as crews valiantly tried to stand there and protect what they could to keep it from spreading. But I have to say there was more that was gone already than remained, which is really such a tragic thing to realize and to understand. You know, I reached out to a friend of mine who's in city leadership here in Malibu and just saying, I'm sorry because of what I'm seeing. It's just so heartbreaking. There are crews all over Malibu and Pacific Palisades, a remarkable number of crews, but not nearly enough for what is going on. There is so much wind. There are so many fires. Back here where we are on PCH and Puerto Marina, this neighborhood behind us is just one of so many here in Malibu that has multiple homes burning. And there are fire crews positioned just below this neighborhood at this point, trying to protect the building down here on PCH. But, you know, they can't even go up into those neighborhoods anymore. I mean, they just have so much on their plate, so much to handle, that they're having to make very difficult and delicate decisions about where they place their resources and what to save and what they can save at this point. You know, you said it was unreal, and that is absolutely the word for it. I've been covering a lot of fires in my time, and this one is just shocking to me, the extent of the damage and how quickly it escalated. When we first got here at about 4:30, we were looking at, you know, these coastal homes, these coastal neighborhoods, and we could see a house here, a house there that was burning and certainly threatening the other houses around them. And then within a matter of hours,
an hour, 2 hours, 3/4 of the neighborhoods were gone. I mean, it's just really difficult to get your head around, because these are areas that we have covered and been up and down so often, and to now see just empty spaces where those buildings and houses were is really something. You know, for people who are familiar with Malibu, the Rosenthal wine patio, that's gone. The Real Inn, that's gone. The the Oasis Center, which is a place that sells like outdoor furniture and plants and statues and such. It's really an iconic place here on PCH. Gone. The 7-Eleven there is gone. I mean, it's just, you just look around and you can't imagine, you can't believe it. It's really, really something. And I give it to these firefighters because, they've been out here and doing such difficult, such dangerous work and such heroic work. And we are a long way from over, and they have a very, very long fight ahead of them, and so many fights. That's what's so stunning about this, is just they have so much to fight tonight, guys.
They do, Lori. And when you talk about businesses and homes that are gone, we're really going to get the true gist of just what
Chautauqua that have been lost, fully engulfed. That fire did make it down from the top of the boulevard. It made its way down along that wild space in Rustic Creek, and we have seen those homes be lost. It is a long string of homes, and unfortunately they are now gone. Now, Rustic Creek is a bit of a canyon, a little valley between where we are seeing those homes on fire and our position right now. The LAPD and the LAFD thought by this hour it would have transgressed across Rustic Creek, transversed it, and made it up to these homes here where we are. That has not happened. Its progress has stalled a bit as it makes its way down Chautauqua to the south, but we have not seen that eastern progress that we thought would be the case. Now, once things kind of settled down here and we realized that these homes were safe, we went for a drive to see how things looked down on Sunset Boulevard. That takes us down into Rustic Creek and then back up on the other side. We have some video of that drive that we tried to make it down west on Sunset. And there were some hazards throughout the entire time we were on that roadway. Tree branches had been coming down the hill and had piled up across much of the roadway. In fact, where we stand now, we see a couple fire engines making it through. They're going to have to make it through that debris field in the middle of Sunset Boulevard. There is also open flame right up against the roadway on Sunset. That's two reasons why they shut this roadway down. It is a very dangerous trip. These engines and LAPD cruisers and ambulances have had to make this trip over and over again as they go to and from the fire lines, and they've had to make it through a very dangerous, treacherous conditions as they've made that trek. Right up against the roadway, you can feel the heat come through your window when you're that close to it. And that was a couple hours ago. We're not sure exactly what the conditions are there now, but we do see in the distance more homes that is up on Chautauqua have now been lost. We have made it down south on Amalfi. We have made it up north on Amalfi. As of this hour, things remain calm other than the wind itself and the danger of trees and branches coming down on homes. But the fire danger at this hour, it remains, but these homes remain intact. We have not seen it make its way down into the canyon and back up on the other side. Now, there is some orange glow and some smoke coming from the north. It could have gone up and around into the Riviera neighborhood and made its way down that way, but we cannot see. The smoke is just too thick even to see any potential orange glow in that neighborhood. We are about 3 blocks west-northwest of Riviera Country Club. That seems safe. On the far side of that, it leads down into Santa Monica and San Vicente Boulevard. We saw evacuation orders in Santa Monica at San Vicente North. That is our direction up, which makes sense when they thought that this was in imminent danger of going. And we saw other evacuation warnings from San Vicente over to Montana in the city of Santa Monica. So a wide swath of area here is now under evacuation warning or evacuation warnings. And we did speak to a sergeant here with the LAPD at the time when we thought that wall of flames was headed our way. and they made announcements through this neighborhood to evacuate and make your way east to the 405. That's about 4 miles to our east, but that sergeant said if he had his way, he would have everyone in this area leave tonight, get out, get to safety all the way to the 405. He wants to see that area clear and safe. If you have not left and you're in that area, get your stuff together, because even as we stand here now and these homes remain intact, things could change very quickly. The winds are swirling, they are strong, and they are at my back, which means some of those gusts are pushing very strongly to the east. It's the opposite direction of where we would expect to see the wind gusts going in a Santa Ana wind event, blowing west and south down towards the Pacific Ocean. It is a steady wind to the east that hopefully does not carry any embers or flames any further. But right now, we can see several homes, more than a half a dozen or a dozen or more on Chautauqua have been lost. There are some flames down in Rustic Creek, and there are a lot of homes down there that a lot of people are keeping an eye on. And up here at Amalfi and Sunset, things remain in decent condition, other than the wind blowing and the potential damage that could cause, guys.
Yeah, Jory, in a typical wildland fire like this, you would see structure protection. You see firefighters stationing themselves outside homes that are in danger and prepared to tackle any flames that come. Have you seen any hint of that? Do they have the kind of resources where they can do that sort of structure protection that you've seen?
We have not seen it. We have seen some engines from LAFD and other jurisdictions make their way through here towards the fire, but as far as firefights, we have not seen a single instance of it. In fact, when we were on Chautauqua, about 5 o'clock, the 4 to 5 o'clock hour, we were speaking with residents there who said they did not see a single engine come up their roadway, and they were understandably very upset. Earlier, we were a little further, even further west, with a woman who lives in an apartment building right off Temescal, and that's how we made our way up off of PCH up Temescal. That's where you saw the high school burning earlier tonight. She said she didn't see anyone in our area. We saw a man desperate, pulled his car up, rolled his window down, and said, "You have to tell the fire department our apartments are burning. They're not doing anything." And all we could do was just tell them they're spread so thin, there's nothing that could be done. But from that point, from Temescal east, we have seen the personnel driving through. We have not seen any of those personnel in active firefight. And up until the sun went down, we did see a sporadic helicopter in the air. And as we know, the entire fleet has now been grounded. So as far as this area, the firefight is basically nil.
The community is going to have a lot of questions about this, Jory. Thank you very much. It is very frustrating, and it's especially when you see these devastating images from these fires. Jory, thank you very much for that live report.
And it's not like firefighters are sitting on their hands either. They are rushing from place to place. They are just overmatched by the immensity and the fierceness of the winds and the quickness of the spread and the dryness of the fuel. Dallas Raines, of course, this is a weather-driven, wind-driven event or series of events that we're watching.
That's right.
And it's going to get worse tonight, correct?
That's right, Mark. We have another burst of strong Santa Ana winds. I mean, it's still strong, but there will be one more. That will be between about 4 o'clock in the morning and around sunrise, and then we'll start to see that abate a little bit as we head into the late morning hours. Red flag warnings, though, are going to stay with us all the way through Thursday, because even though the winds will be less on Thursday, the humidity is going to be even drier, and there'll still be some winds coming through those canyons up to 25 miles per hour. But the strongest winds tonight through early tomorrow morning, as you can see that area there. We're going to zoom up to the fire that was started up in the Sylmar area. That was a couple of hours ago. That is also burning with winds of 40 to 50 miles per hour. They'll have gusts up to 60 early tomorrow morning. And of course, the fire in the Altadena area, same deal. Very strong winds come through these canyon passes. They're squeezed. And if you live in those canyons, you are susceptible to these powerful Santa Ana winds. As a matter of fact, when you look at the wind map, you can see the reds and kind of purple areas are all below canyon passes. And get down L.A., on down toward Carson, Carson, you don't have anything to worry about down there at all. But out there in those canyons, whether it's down in Orange County, we haven't seen any fires down there, thank goodness. And we have not seen any fires started out in the Riverside area of the IE all day long. And hopefully that will not happen as we head into tomorrow morning. So that's what we can all hope and pray for. Here's the view of the wind profile for the Palisades area. Still very strong overnight, averaging about 20 to 35 miles per hour, but occasional big gusts. And then it'll drop off, I think, certainly by afternoon tomorrow. And in the Altadena area, I think we'll see those winds drop off as we get into late to late morning and early afternoon hours. But still, this is a strong event. You can see our camera up there just shaking around up in the mountain areas. Here are some of the wind velocities. I did see an 87 reported earlier today during the time when the Magic Mountain area was receiving powerful winds through that area. 71 at Burbank Airport. The center of the low is tracking very slowly. As long as we have this low very close to this big high, that's why we have the Santa Ana winds. They've been blowing through these mountain passes for millions of years, and they will continue because this type of weather pattern, especially during a La Nina episode in the Pacific Ocean, we see a lot of offshore events. We talked about this 3 or 4 months ago where I was forecasting below normal rain this year after 2 years of heavy rain, and that we would see these powerful winds. Now notice as we get into the afternoon hours tomorrow,